Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Really good morning from Brussels. Maybe good evening and still good morning in other parts of the world. Really happy to be with you today for the 13th edition of the program review days of the Clean Hydrogen Partnership or Clean Hydrogen GU within the context of the Hydrogen Week this time, and now somehow rebranded as Hydrogen Research Days, European Hydrogen Research Days. It is our pleasure to again host this annual event, to review again the status of the program, of the joint undertaking, its achievements, of course, together with our colleagues, as always, from the Joint Research Center of the European Commission, and with the support, great support, of all our members, European Commission, Hydrogen Europe, and Hydrogen Europe Research. Without taking more time, I would like to already invite them kindly to say a few words before we start and dive into the presentation of our program. And with that, I would like to first invite Mrs. Rosalinde van der Vlies. She's the Director of Clean Planet of Directorate Research and Innovation of the European Commission, and of course, Vice Chair of our Governing Board of the joint undertaking, and really looking forward to hear from her a few statements. Thank you, Rosalinde.
Thank you very much, Mirella, and good morning to everybody. It's a great pleasure and honor to be here with you on the 13th edition of the Program Review Days and the first one of the rebranded European Hydrogen Research Days. And I think it is always an extremely important moment of the year, something that we are really looking forward to because it is very important to take stock, to think, and to really together discuss what the impact has been of all the activities that we in the hydrogen community through the partnership have been engaging in and collaborating on. And for the European Commission, it's not a surprise that for us, we are particularly looking forward to this day because we pay a particular attention to the work that we are doing together in the partnership. We are investing 1 billion euros, and this also shows our political commitment that together we want to make the work that we are doing in the context of the Clean Hydrogen Partnership a big success. And this has also been illustrated, of course, as you all know, when the Commission adopted its REPowerEU plan, which is really our guiding document to make sure that the European Union will have energy that is sustainable, safe, and also affordable. And there we decided to allocate an additional 200 million euros to the Clean Hydrogen Partnership in order to double the number of hydrogen valleys in the European Union. And I was particularly proud because as the European Commission, we are involved in many partnerships through our Horizon Europe program. So I was particularly proud that clean hydrogen was given the spotlight in the REPowerEU plan with this additional budget. Now, of course, the Commission has said it many times. We want to make sure that we move the hydrogen economy from niche to scale. And apart from the investments that we are making in research and development, of course, we need a lot more in order to make sure that in the European Union we can move up in the hydrogen economy and can be world leader across the whole value chain. That's also why it's really important that we have a supportive regulatory framework in the European Union, which we are working on, and also that we have a lot of investments in the deployment, the scaling up of the solutions for the hydrogen economy. And again, it's not without surprise that the first clean transition dialogues that were organized by our Executive Vice President, Mr. Maroš Šefčovič, on the 10th of October, was again the first one on hydrogen. So I think you need no more proof of the political commitment of the European Commission for hydrogen. Now, having said that by way of introduction, I'm very much looking forward now to these 2 days I'm sure that we will learn a lot of great achievements of the partnership. I'm particularly looking forward to the progress we made on the hydrogen valleys, and I'm sure there will be a very interesting session also in the coming days on that. I also would like to highlight the important role that the partnership is playing on synergies, because obviously hydrogen, it's the rock star of the energy transition, which means that it is very relevant for various end-use applications. And there, I think also the partnership has really demonstrated how important it is to collaborate also with other partnerships, for instance, with aviation, with waterborne. And I think this is also something that is very important to highlight when it comes to the long list of achievements of the partnership. And lastly, I also wanted to highlight the importance of coming to aggregated project results. Because of course, we are very good in showcasing individual projects, but I believe that also in order to highlight the importance of the JU to deliver on the Commission priorities, it will be important to bring the project results together. For instance, answering the question, what has the hydrogen joint undertaking delivered in terms of making the hydrogen production more cost efficient? All these kinds of aggregated project results will really help us also to prepare also for the future of the partnership when we are slowly starting to prepare also for our next framework program. So let me conclude by highlighting three particular political priorities that I think the JU will be making an important contribution to also for the future. The first one is on skills. It is not without coincidence that we have a European Year of Skills, and I know a lot of work has also been done by the joint undertaking to make sure that we have the necessary skills in place to roll out the hydrogen economy. The second one is circularity. You're all aware of the Commission proposals on the Critical Raw Materials Act and the Net Zero Industry Act. And again, I believe that the JU is making a great contribution also to enhancing the circularity of the hydrogen systems. And the last one I would like to mention is the narrative on competitiveness. Because as if we are now transitioning also into a new European Parliament and a new Commission next year, it will be very much also focused on the competitiveness of the European industry. And obviously, sustainability and competitiveness, it's two sides of the same coin. But it will be very important also for the joint undertaking to develop a very strong narrative how together with all our activities we are contributing to the competitiveness of the European industry. So I would like to stop here and thank all of you for your dedication and your energy. And I'm very much looking forward to these 2 days. And there, also from the Commission side, you can continue on our full support for the partnership in the future. So thank you very much, and back to you, Mirella.
Thank you very much, Mrs. van der Vlies. Thank you, Rosalinde, for the kind words. And I know we can count on your support. And I can also assure you that on all the aspects you mentioned, on all the priorities, on skills, on circularity, on competitiveness, but also on our contribution to reducing the price of the hydrogen, please make sure we are working every day to support the European Commission in its priorities. Thank you very much for your kind words again. I would like now to move to the next opening forward, and I would like to kindly invite Mrs. Melissa Verykios. She is the chair of our governing board of the Clean Hydrogen Partnership of the GU, and she is representative, of course, of our industrial member of Hydrogen Europe and president also of Metacon-Helbio. Melissa, we would like to hear from you also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mirella. Warm welcome to everyone. Research Days, very exciting next couple of days. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for being here, or all my fellow hydrogen companions, and of course, Mirella and the entire team of the Clean Hydrogen Partnership, all the organizers of this grand event, as we gather here to celebrate our achievements and look at results. Very strong message by Rosalinde. Continuous support. We need that. We need to look at where we stand today and where we are going at, what the goal is. So today we'll break down a few milestones. We'll look at a very good annual plan. We have set ambitious targets. We have ambitious projects. And we are going to look at how we came all the way from an embryonic stage of the original FCH all the way to the CHJU that we stand today. So let's dive right in. I wanted to speak a little bit about what is the EU approach? Why are we here? What are we doing at? And what the goal of the CH is? We're looking at matters of hydrogen as a holistic approach, cost reduction, efficiency, reliability of technologies, materials and recycling, circularity. We're going to solve these matters, solve energy storage and infrastructure. Rosalinde just mentioned we had a meeting with Ms. von der Leyen and Maros Šefčovič on the 10th of October. We discussed in depth storage and solutions. How do we create off-takers markets? How do we tackle funding and continuation of funding from the private and public sectors? The EU approach is to build and retain H2 technologies, and the private members' approach is to find solutions for this R&I to keep a competitive edge and be able to create an infrastructure, to create a commercial approach on filling in the gaps where hydrogen needs to tackle this transition that we're discussing. We have very tight targets. The targets that we've put are very specific, very specific for 2030 and 2050. So this will help develop a number of technologies that are currently either not competitive or have a low TRL, and they're expected to contribute to these targets. Now, the focus of research and innovation activities of the Clean Hydrogen JU is different and very much upgraded compared to FCH2 JU. This is shifting now to areas related primarily to the production of clean hydrogen as well as the distribution and storage for the end-use applications. Now, the objective of the EU has been to reduce these emissions by a minimum of 55% by 2030 and ambitious target to reach zero emissions by 2050. In this strategic vision of the climate neutral EU, which was published originally in 2018, the share of hydrogen in EU's energy mix is projected to grow from what is now 2% up to 13 to 14% by 2050. So how are we going to achieve that? How are we going to reach those targets? We've hit many milestones. We've seen, as it was previously mentioned, refuel, EU aviation, maritime, AFIR. The gas package is now defined. RED 3 has been agreed. Critical raw materials, standards and certifications is something that we're still working on. Now, the Clean Hydrogen Partnership launched its two first calls for proposal under the Horizon Europe in 2022, in March 22, and the second one this year in January. Following the evaluation of these calls, we have been able to successfully grant 50 projects, including 33 million for hydrogen valleys. Repower EU is something that we're very much appreciative for. The Commission has really supported the mission of the valleys. And we've been able to use a total budget today of 322.8 million. That is a grand achievement for all these projects that are truly supported in the entire value chain in the 8 pillars of hydrogen. And I wanted to speak a little bit about those. They're very well described in the SRIA: hydrogen production, storage and distribution, end uses, transport, CHP, clean heat and power, cross-cutting, hydrogen valleys, of course, supply chain, and strategic research challenges. We have some very good success stories in hydrogen production, including industry, including very large projects. There is today an increasing urgency to decarbonize hydrogen production in large scale. This will help the transition in a much wider effect. For the hydrogen to take its place in the energy mix that we have today. So the SRIA indicates very specific needs for renewable hydrogen to become cost competitive, for hydrogen technologies to be uplifted, to scale up. In this transition, we're looking at prices of mostly in mobility, let's say, a cost around 5 euros per kilogram at a refueling station to be competitive. This is the target that we're looking at. Or in industry, we need to go as low as 2 to 3 kilos per kilogram to be very competitive. And that is a very, very rough target. And for this matter, the Clean Hydrogen JU supports the entire R&I value chain for renewable hydrogen in funding ongoing projects. Now we have 56 projects and 180 million, out of which 42 projects almost have been on electrolysis. So we're tackling the renewable hydrogen production in much depth. These projects we have been increasing at scale and are supported continuously. A lot of fuel cell projects as well, a lot of different technologies. I'm going to name just mobility, for example, is very much supported. To date, we have over 1,700 light-duty fuel cell vehicles supported by our projects and funded by our projects, 46 refueling stations, almost 300 fuel cell buses are running through the streets with Drive and Drive 2, 16 trucks and urban bin lorries. These are new technologies that we're seeing developing out there, and they're spreading throughout. They're spreading throughout the various member states, and we're seeing that with planting a seed, now these technologies are continuing to be developed, reaching the point of commercialization. And with this, I want to describe a little bit the valleys concept. Now, this Hydrogen Valley concept has gained a lot of momentum, and it's now one of the main priorities for scaling up deployment and creating interconnected hydrogen ecosystems across the member states. A valley is basically a defined geographical area, a region, where several hydrogen applications are combined together, giving emphasis to interoperability and synergies between those pillars of hydrogen production, storage, and distribution and end-use applications. And the ultimate goal is for these valleys to get connected, so to create a large map of hydrogen technologies, hydrogen-based ecosystem. Now, I'm going to name a few, as I think we're all very proud of these valleys. We all know the Valley of Heaven, the Green Highlands, most recently the North Adriatic, Baltic Sea H2, High South Marmara, Trier in Greece, Crave H2 in Greece and Crete, Tricino. Those valleys are going to be supported in a very well-rounded way. They're edgy projects, they're very competitive projects, and they're going to need additional hands in order to see them flourish, to see them successful, to hit their targets. And on this, in 2017, the FCHJU started with a concept on supporting these very edgy projects. And most recently, we launched the PDA, the Project Development Assistant Project, which aims to help develop this support for lower maturity projects in several regions to be able to take them to the next level. Additional to that, we started the Smart Specialization Platform, again for connecting regions, leveraging the existing networks and elevate them in the SC platform. Most recently, I think it's worth to mention the European Hydrogen Observatory, which has been upgraded. Now in September 23, we started with a new contract, and now everyone can go into the platform and see live all the data that we're all looking at. Where are the HRSs? What are their capacity? Where do we stand? We need to be informed on what we have ready, what is happening, what is developing, and what the goals are. So all that information, all that data can be found in the observatory. It's a very, very helpful tool. And of course, the Hydrogen Valley platform, where we can see the valleys, where we can see where we stand, and get more information on those valleys and how they are interrelated. I don't want to keep you long. Today we'll discuss about all this data in depth. What are the next steps? Identifying additional RNI, setting priorities, setting the scope for the future of the partnership, and how we can achieve bit by bit those targets in developing and implementing an advocacy action plan. So we expect the commitment, of course, from the industry and the EU to continue developing these necessary technologies that will successfully transition into hydrogen technologies, and we can see reaching our targets in 2030 and 2050. So I stop here and back to you, Mirella.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Verykios. Thank you, Melissa, for the kind words and for recognizing all of our achievements. Really, really happy to hear that from you. And of course, thank you very much for the continuous commitment of our private members and Hydrogen Europe in general. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I will like to invite, of course, our third representative of our third member of the partnership of the joint undertaking. And I would like to invite Mr. Luigi Crema. He is the president of Hydrogen Europe Research, to also tell us a few words about our partnership, about his association and his group of research organization and academia and support to our partnership. Luigi, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you a lot, Mirella. And a warm welcome to all the participants, even from my side. I'm really honored and happy to have the chance to give a foreword and a short message to all of you at the European Hydrogen Research Days today. Together, of course, with the extremely interesting messages that we had from the Commission, from Hydrogen Europe, and looking forward to the ones from the JRC with the support even from the JU. I'm really thankful for all the wonderful support that we had and we are having from our joint undertaking in organizing the Hydrogen Research Days and in supporting even all the activities of the program. Hydrogen Research Days that are part of an overall event, including even the Hydrogen Week that will start next Monday. I would like to underline the importance of these 2 days. They are a showcase of the results of our program, of the Clean Hydrogen Partnership along the last year. In an aggregated way, as said from Rosalinde, this is of much importance to see aggregated results of the program, how we can progress through the research, through the innovation actions in achieving results for the European hydrogen sector and improving technologies in performances and reducing the costs. At the same time, even looking at the outstanding results of the single specific projects and initiatives where you all are the stars, the researchers, the innovators, the industries, and all the participants. While hydrogen is enlarging its strategic importance, evolving even other European and national programs from member states, involving the creation of a market framework of dedicated policies at support, involving more and more economic operators, investors of the first ecosystems like the hydrogen valleys, I strongly believe on the importance of research and innovation. A market will be controlled, even in the future, by the best available technologies. And best available technologies can be realized only through a continuous research and development effort. And the scientific excellence that we represent in Hydrogen Europe research is partly meaningless if not coupled with the perspective to create an impact at the industrial, at the economic, and at the social levels. This is why I consider the Clean Hydrogen Partnership of a unique value, because it was able, starting from the FCA-JU in 2007, to join together an ecosystem made by policymakers, the Commission, the industrial players, Hydrogen Europe, and the European research excellencies. But this must be continued. I'm really happy to have listened even the words from Rosalinde and Melissa on the perspective to continue the support and continue even in the coming years. If we want to keep Europe in the forefront of the global competition. It's a circular loop that should be served as a support. I'm used to make the example of the Formula One championship. Today, in these 2 days, together, we are looking at the status of our Formula One car, the European hydrogen technologies, which is racing in a global competition. And we are doing our best to prepare our car for the next round and to keep it ahead of others in the global race. And until a market on hydrogen will be existing, this race will never end. Of course, it is extremely positive to see that European institution set a supportive framework for the development of the hydrogen sector and the related markets, particularly having the Renewable Energy Directive revision, the Repower EU, even with the dedicated support to hydrogen valleys through the Clean Hydrogen Partnership. Hydrogen valleys are considered the bottom-up action from the European Commission to place single dots in Europe initially that then at the second stage can be joined one by the other. And so enlarging a single ecosystem at the regional level, even to create wider and wider markets for hydrogen. But together with the Repower EU, we had even the Net Zero Industrial Act, even looking to the Net Zero Industrial Academies. This is an important action that we will support in the coming future, even inside our program. The European Hydrogen Bank that will start operating starting next week, this is an important instrument to create a market framework for hydrogen in Europe. The AFIR, the Alternative Fuel Infrastructure Regulation, which is setting mandatory targets for member states to place infrastructures for mobility in Europe, including even the ones for hydrogen. This is an important and necessary prerequisite. And of course, together with the infrastructures for mobility, the European hydrogen backbone, so to create as a top-down action, so from the Commission side, the infrastructures in Europe that will be key enablers. The Clean Hydrogen Partnership channels research activities and promotes excellent cutting-edge research to ensure that Europe is at the forefront. As Hydrogen Europe Research, today we are 150 members, almost 1,000 individuals involved in support to the Clean Hydrogen Partnership activities. Only 1 year ago, we were 120, 30 members less. So the increase of the sector is even reflected of the increase of the impact of the associations involving research, but even industry on this. We are supporting high-level policy events. We supported the Hydrogen Valley Declaration this year in line with the Repower EU, and we are even much eager to continue enlarging our synergies, as said by Rosalinde before. It's fundamental to break even in part the silos and establish collaboration between associations. We established an MOU with Euramet, but as well as at the partnership level, we started to collaborate with Clean Aviation, JU, for example, and we have even an important inter-partnership assembly of the Commission that is a good forum to foster this synergy. The most important for us is to collaborate, of course, with our partners, with the Commission, with Hydrogen Europe, together in a strict dialogue with our program office at the JU. We are supporting, of course, all the different documents in preparation, the multi-annual program, the strategic research innovation agenda, but as well as the annual work programs. And we are happy from Hydrogen Europe Research to see included in the first 2 annual work programs the strategic research challenges. These are long-lasting initiatives aggregating a relevant part of the research actors and competencies in Europe on strategic topics that should have a longer look in the future to create alternatives. One is related to the critical raw materials, not only to reduce the materials into the technologies, but even to find ways to recycle more materials from available technology and solution, to reuse part of the components, so to reduce the dependence on these materials for the overall value chain. The second one is on degradation mechanisms for electrolyzers and fuel cells. We are looking to technologies that already operated at the scale in the market, at an industrial scale, see what happened in degradation, create models, and understand at the deep level what is affecting degradation for these technologies. This is of much importance to improve performances and to stay in the forefront from European technologies at the global scale. And the third one is on hydrogen storage. Hydrogen storage will be a key element of the future energy system, and we are looking to novel breakthrough solutions from materials and the systems. These are, of course, long-lasting initiatives that will create impact at the second stage, but I'm convinced on the format and the relevance of this strategic research challenge, even looking to the next generation technologies. And regarding our internal activities, I would like just to conclude saying that we see some priorities to support from Hydrogen Europe Research the program. We have started 4 internal working groups to support our 4 main pillars. One is related to low TRL research, looking to the next generation. We have opened a pool to our members recently to pull up priorities of research that could have a relevant role for the next generation. A second pillar is related to research and technology infrastructures and to the role of innovation. So to support the industrial sector in a pool approach and creating a complex framework of competencies that could be offered to enterprises to accelerate the deployment to the market of novel solutions through even novel model of collaborations. The third one is the policy working group that is supporting the Commission, but even the different stakeholders in creating the proper policies that could support not only research, but even the market creation. And last but not least, the skills working group. This is a topic growing in importance. It was already said with the hydrogen sector moving to scaling up and industrialization. And Hydrogen Europe Research, together even with other partners of the partnership, it's involved in projects and discussions at the European and international level to ensure that skilled workforce will be available for the development of the hydrogen ecosystems. We are collaborating with the UNIDO and the IPHE, just to make a couple of examples beyond the partnership. Say this, I wish you all 2 intense and profitable days looking at the results and at your achievements in the projects supported by the program. I look forward to see many of you in person, even next week in Brussels. Thanks. And I give back the word to you, Mirella.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Luigi. Thank you very much, Mr. Crema, for the kind words also. And really, thank you for recognizing the GE unique value. And as you also said, I can again also assure you too that we will keep racing until the market is there. So you can count on us.